I think we can safely say that this decade's most transformative movement is AI. And we're going to look at the intersection between technology and corporate operations. Because in essence, AI is just a tool. Global Business Services, GBS as it's often termed, has to take it and reshape how it operates, utilizing AI to improve workforce dynamics, service delivery, operations, etc. Joining me to give us insight of what that reality is starting to look like is Professor Johan Steyn. He's at the Human-Centered AI Advocate and Thought Leader AI for Business. Johan, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm gonna, I suppose, give you the opportunity first to just talk to how you, as a professor focused on AI, especially the human-centered nature of AI, are starting to see AI being incorporated in global business.
Nelly, nice to see you. Thank you for having me. Firstly, I hate it when people call me professor. They think I'm very old and smart, which I'm not. But a lot of my work's actually more hands down in industry rather than in academics. It's a highly misunderstood technology. In this, what I call post-chat GPT era, everyone is now prompting an AI expert. And the customers I'm dealing with are still misunderstanding it, using it for things that AI can never do. It's definitely not as smart as people think it is, but it is increasing in power rapidly. And business leaders need to grapple with it, that balance between what uniquely only humans can do and what the robots can help us doing. But that ratio and that balance, I very rarely see senior business leaders get it right.
And I think for me, having been in the corporate sector, one of the biggest challenges business have is understanding and utilizing, storing and analyzing data. Are they at least starting to use AI to solve for that biggest pain of business?
Yes. Look, we are in an era where we are harvesting so much data from our operations and from our customers. Hopefully, we're doing it responsibly and legally, even though we don't currently have any AI-related legislative framework in South Africa, but POPIA does speak to some of it, privacy. But what to do with that data is what I see a lot of clients are struggling with. Because we start with the AI and the data conversation where we should start with what will make a change and a difference for our customers. Because maybe it's not AI, it's maybe not a chatbot or anything like that. It's some common sense things. But if we can determine and predict, because that's one of the key things that differentiates AI technology with automation technology, is to have an accurate foresight and prediction capability. When will my clients churn? What kind of needs do they have that our competitors fulfill and we don't? How can we sell more services to them? It's utilizing that data, but for a business purpose. I see a lot of organizations, especially the techies, playing with the data because it's a lot of fun, but it's not showing an impact on the bottom line. I'm always advocating that the main owner, in my opinion, for these initiatives should be the chief financial officer. Because if it doesn't make financial sense, who cares whether it's AI or robots? So again, that's where I see a lot of the disparity and misunderstanding. I don't see the financial impact because there's more a fear of missing out thing happening around this AI things than common sense, financial sense.
Absolutely. Where something sits makes a huge difference, and it's definitely not sitting in IT or on the website developer. It's sitting in that ability to mine it to do revenue. But there are some companies getting it absolutely right in South Africa, and you know who they are when they start to touch you on all sides. And I don't know whether we can talk about those who are getting it right and what does it mean, because the CEO, CFO, somebody there really knows how to grow the business. You know, can you talk to what they're doing with AI correctly?
Absolutely. And look, I'm currently at the BPESA conference, Business Process Enablement South Africa, and a lot of these call center, contact center companies. And it's been amazing to speak to them to see how they're using digital technology and AI to get it right. And it's I'm a consumer, and like all of us, I hate it when somebody calls me out of the blue, a cold call, because it's 99% irrelevant. I have a gym membership. I have an insurance provider. They call me for things I don't need. But if my bank or my telco, using all the data they have on me, can model a solution that's obviously within the range of what they offer or can offer, and they phone me to tell me about a service that I would be absolutely glad to use, I just didn't know they can offer it, then I think we are really hitting the nail on the mark. But for now, I think a lot of contact centers, sadly, is almost like it's throwing mud against the wall. and hope something sticks. We talk a lot about hyper-personalization. Use my data, use behavioral science to offer me things that will fit me, given my gender, my ethnicity, where I live in the country, my income level, whether I'm a parent or not. You have that data on me, service providers. Use it and give me better service, because it's not futuristic. We already have the technology that can do it. But I don't know where people are losing their common sense by AIing everything, and it makes no impact on the consumer out there or on the workforce that work for you.
I can tell you why, because I was around when call centers were decentralized and they were sent to Cape Town, to somewhere in Roodepoort. So they're no longer part of the think tank of organizations. They are now separate entities running by themselves. So to solve for that, it's going to be a huge leap for organizations. But the one client who, for example, sells you insurance, sells you medical aid, opens up a bank, whatever, they're really using their data to be able to see how much money you have, and therefore you spending it where they need to harness it. But I think that, we're really grappling for a solution that's going to put the continent on the map, that's come through because of AI. For you, what comes up that can be utilized for AI, especially by global entities, in markets like Africa?
Yes. Again, it's using the data we have, or to at least start harvesting the data that we would need. We are competing globally. And in order to compete globally in this era of massive digitization and of artificial intelligence, all of our service providers and our contact centers need to utilize this technology correctly. Imagine this. Imagine you call your bank or your telco. Obviously, you verify your identity. And by the time that contact center agent takes the call, based on your behavior, based on how you consume their product, based on your spending patterns, they know to a 90% accuracy why you are probably calling them. So for instance, if I've just joined a new medical aid, my first call will be, help me lodge my first medical claim. I'm not sure how to do it. So it's predictive analytics. And I always feel a bit sad for these contact center agents. I was one myself in the UK years ago. I didn't even understand the dialects, but they're trying to do a good job. But the technology can help them by modeling my behavior and predicting why I'm calling them. On the screen is the probable questions and the very probable answers to help me quickly and delightfully. In order for us to win even more business from a global services point of view, and I think the stats are that we in South Africa have about a third of that market, we need to compete with the overseas companies that's using AI. If a bank in the UK is using more AI and they want to outsource the call center to Cape Town or Joburg or wherever, we're going to have to do a lot more than them, because the question would arise, why do they even need us if they have so much advanced technologies? The other thing is, South Africans, we are great from a multicultural point of view, multi-language point of view. We have a sense of humor that resonates with people in Europe and Northern America. We have some of the best contact center agents. They just deserve all the technology that can help them becoming even better. So I think there's a positive outlook, but it's going to take some time to get there. And we need the wise steps to get there as well.
And here's a tough question, and everybody wants to know this. Exactly based on what you've said, does AI then not only take in that information, for example, from these amazing call center agents, and then is able to do it on their behalf without them being there? How do we secure the future for individuals who are feeding this machine that can mimic them?
Yes, it's a great question, but there are still things, many things, that AI cannot do and probably will never be able to do. And that comes down to that uniquely human-to-human interaction. AI, no technology will change fundamental human nature. I'm a human, I want to belong, we are tribal. I want to feel valued. I want to, when I speak with you as my service provider, to understand me, to show empathy. I want you to read the nuances between my frustration and maybe my weird sense of humor. I don't see AI doing it. I have seen conversational AI or language AI systems speak very much like a human, but they often miss those cues very specific to your culture, your dialect, your gender. So I don't see it replacing that. Now, for me to contact my bank and to ask for an increase on my overdraft, that's very transactional. I'm happy to do it with a chatbot or an AI. But if I have financial problems, if I need a loan because my son is sick and I need to take him to hospital tomorrow, if I wake up tomorrow and I've been hacked and there's nothing left in my bank account, I sure as heck want to speak to a human. In fact, I want to go to the branch and wait for the branch manager to see me. So we need to decide what or determine those transactional lower value things that I really don't care whether it's a human or not. And those things about the health of my children, my financial future, my investment strategy and the like, my career, where I need a human, a mentor, empathy. That stuff won't go away. But let's take these great contact center agents who are great with empathy and remove the mundane, repetitive stuff from them so that they can focus on the stuff they're really good at. Looking somebody in the eye on a screen like this or on a call. And that's the stuff we should focus on. That we can't AI away, in my opinion.
But then you've got to give, organizations have got to give human beings in the call center and in those places of service the permission to be human, which I often believe is currently not even given to call center agents who are engaging with you. So is there a mindset shift that you believe AI is going to bring that enhances humanity?
It should, and especially in a call center. A call center is a noisy, smelly, often horrible place. And if anyone is on the neurodiversity spectrum, like high-functioning autism or Asperger's, a lot of people in tech are, even if they don't know it, it's one of the worst, and I am myself, that's why I know, it's one of the worst places to work because of all the sensory bombardment. So we have to look at the workplace design, how we diminish the sound levels, but also that sense of I'm actually helping people because we want to help people. You want to go home at the end of the day and feel I really helped some people with big problems, but it's because I've been enabled by technology. So here we also talk about a leadership layer that needs to understand their people. You can't just hammer people with, you have to make 500 outbound calls a day because it's like a sausage machine. And I understand there's a business case behind that. But at the end of the day, have we really retained and helped customers and sold more to them because they were happy? And did technology help us with that? So I don't know if it answers your question, but I do think technology is going to bring up some of these snakes in the grass around toxic cultures, bad leadership, the way we treat people, the environments they work in. And we as a leadership then to use that to make life better. Happy workers result in happy customers. That, again, you can't AI away.
Well, nobody could have guessed that a conversation around AI could have led us to talking about organizational human wellness. So you've taken it to a completely different direction, and it's been a great conversation. That was Professor, and we'll put that aside, Johan Steyn, who's a human-centered AI advocate and thought leader for AI and business.